Hi, today we're going to go over adding and subtracting polynomials. This will be a quick lesson because it's just addition, but it's a really important thing that we talk about because we'll need to use this later on, and so it's really important that we get good at this and that we practice this a lot. Our goals for today are to learn how to be able to add and subtract polynomials. We are going to be able to combine like terms. This is something we've already done, we're just hitting it again. We need to remember real quick that like terms are terms that have the same variable and power. Let's give an example of this just really quick. Our example of this, that is not a 4. For example, 37x squared plus 8x squared plus 7x plus 5. We have some like terms in here. 37x squared and 8x squared, these are both like terms. Now they're not similar enough to our 7x and our 5x because while they have the same variable as our 7x, they don't have the same power. So these two right here are like terms. And so if we wanted to make this prettier, we can combine them and make them into something else. It just makes our expression look nicer. And we need to remember that we can add and subtract polynomials by adding the like terms. So anything that is alike between two different polynomials we can add together. We also need to remember that subtraction is just adding a negative number, so we can write something like 9 minus 8 the same way as 9 plus negative 8. Those are the exact same things, and it's important that we do that so that when we add our coefficients, that we're adding the right thing and that we're keeping those negatives and those signs all the way through. Now there's two methods to go about this. We have first our vertical method, and I think this will be the way that you'll get most used to it. And it's just like your normal addition. So in order to add our polynomials, which we have and just magically appeared, we need to first line up the like terms. Once we have lined up the like terms, we're going to add in a 0 in case any of these are missing. For example, 7x squared plus 5x plus 11. We're missing our x cubed and our x squared factor in here, so we're going to call it 7x to the fourth plus 0x cubed plus 0x squared plus 5x plus 11. Same thing with our other polynomial. And here we have our magic thing. Now we're going to add up our coefficients. So you notice here that it's showing the lines. 9 plus 11 is 20, 5 plus 4 is 9, 0, 0, 0. 0 minus 2 is going to be minus 2, 7 is plus 0 is 7. And remember to pull down these variables. So it's not just 7, it's 7x to the fourth. It's not just negative 2, it's negative 2x to the third. So now we're going to work an example really quickly using the vertical method, and we're going to use something that is a really atrocious story problem, but it's not that bad. And it reads that a researcher studied the number of overnight stays in the U.S. National Park Service campgrounds and in the backcountry of the National Park System over a 5-year period. The researcher modeled the results in thousands with the following polynomials. And we have these two polynomials. And while you're asking, well, why is there two polynomials? Oftentimes when we have things like this, when we're modeling things, we end up having multiple expressions, and we have to make sure that they add together to get the best data. You see this right now with our COVID data where they change the numbers every day. It's because we can once we get new numbers in, we can make better models, and then we just have to add those models to the ones that we already have. So let's add these up really quick. We're going to go line them up. So we have 21x squared minus 140x plus 1900. And we're going to subtract. We're going to add, but it's going to be adding a negative 7x squared. We're going to add a negative 180x, and we're going to add 5600. And we're just going to add up these coefficients. So 1900 and 5600 is 7500, plus we have 140 and 180, but they're negative, so it's negative 320x. 21x squared minus 7x squared is 14x squared. And so that's our final answer. We can also add by grouping, and this is the way that I usually do it, but that's more because I'm a little bit lazy. I don't want to line it up. So we can add them horizontally by grouping any of the like terms. We're going to first figure out what are the like terms. So in this example, we have the 4x and the 5x, and we have the 9 and the 11. We're then going to group the like terms. So you'll notice here that we have our 4 and 5x, and they're in their own little parenthesis. And we have our 9 and 11, and they're also in their little set of parentheses. And then we add them together, the coefficients, and we get our final answer. And you'll notice that this answer is the exact same answer that we had on our previous one with the vertical. Let's do another example of this one, and this one's going to get a little bit messy, but that's okay. I'm going to make my life a little bit easier by not rewriting it. But I'm going to notice where our like terms are. So our 21x squared and our negative 7x squared are like terms. Our negative 140x and our negative 180x are like terms, and our 1900 and 5600 are like terms. So we're going to add them together, 21 by grouping, 21x squared minus 7x squared. And then we're going to add to that negative 140x plus the negative 180x. And then we're going to add to that as well 1900, because we're adding these, 1900 plus 5600. And you'll notice that this is the blue group, this is the red group, and this is our green group. And we end up with the same exact answer that we did before, which is going to be 14x squared minus 320x plus 7500. And so here's our magic thing. Math actually works if we do it the same, like if we follow the right process. So we have two different ways to do this. If you can find another way, these are just the two easiest way for me that I can think of to show these. And so if you can go through the right process and all the steps are correct, and as long as you get the right answer in the end by following the right steps, it's fine. So if you want to do it vertically or horizontally, it doesn't matter to me. And now I'm going to have you take a quick moment to pause your video and do your quick check, which is just simply add the following polynomials. Once you're done with that, congratulations, you're done with this video, and you can go ahead and practice more of these polynomials.